Every day, people take it upon themselves to raise the bar on what's humanly possible and do some of the craziest things imaginable. Some have fun at it, while others risk it all to be crowned world record holders. In today's video, I'll be going over 10 of the craziest world stunts ever. Some of these feats are some of the most dangerous stunts ever performed, so don't feel bad if you can't do any. You're not supposed to. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 10. Highest free solo slackline. Although it started as a pastime hobby, slacklining has become not only a fun activity, but also an extreme sport. Around the world, slacklining draws millions and millions of thrill seekers who don't shy away from an opportunity to pump up their adrenaline with some extreme line slacking. One of the most extreme and probably the craziest types of slacklining is one known as free solo. In this type, the slackliner walks freely by themselves without any safety harness across the slackline. It's one of the most dangerous things to do, but no one does it better than Friedi Kühne. A former extreme mountain climber, Friedi was introduced to slacklining in 2009, and since then he has pushed himself harder to do longer free solo runs. In 2016, he partnered with Left Coast Media to film a documentary about him performing the world's most insane slacklining feat yet. Friedi and his team set up a 2-meter-long line suspended 400 meters in the air over an enormous gorge. During this scary feat, he managed to keep his cool and made the stunt look like a walk in the park, setting the record for the highest free solo of all time while having a great view. Number 9. Dragon Challenge. Tiananmen Mountain in China is shrouded in mystery and legends. The mountain doubles as one of the most beautiful places on Earth and one of the most dangerous. The road to the enormous landscape is probably the dizziest on the planet. For you to pass Tiananmen, you have to go through 99 incredibly short curves before going up to 999 steps, leading up to what's known as Heaven's Gate, a peak so high it's covered in clouds. In 2018, though, as part of a marketing campaign by Range Rover to show off their new sports model, they set out to drive up Tiananmen Mountain in record time. But that's not all. As if driving up one of the most dangerous roads wasn't enough, Range Rover decided to add a twist that would make that feat much crazier. So crazy, in fact, that they were warned not to go ahead with it. They were going to drive up the 999 steps. Now, driving up steps sounds like an insane task on its own, but add the fact that these steps are at a steep 45-degree angle, and you'll start to understand why this feat is impossible. Well, almost impossible. In the end, Range Rover's stunt driver managed to pull the stunt off, maneuvering the entire Tiananmen Mountain in an impressive 22 minutes, 41 seconds. Before we move on, leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be the first watching new episodes. Number 8. Extreme free solo climbing. Only a few people are as daredevil as Alex Arnold in the world. Arnold is what's known in the mountain climbing community as a free solo mountain climber. If you're wondering what that means, it's a term used to describe people crazy enough to climb mountains without safety equipment. Yeah, this guy climbs mountains with nothing but his hands and feet. Among the many records that Arnold holds, one is most precious for a good reason. It's the record for free soloing El Capitan monolith in California, the world's largest granite monolith. On June 13, 2017, Arnold became the first person in the world to ever free climb the 3,000 feet mountain, and he holds the record to this day, mainly because nobody has ever attempted to beat him. Number 7. Cliff diving. Cliff diving has come a long way from a cultural show-off to one of the most extreme sports on the planet, producing both incredible viral clips and serious panic among its lovers. The sport originated in Hawaii, a state covered in landscape perfect for this activity as a ceremonial show of bravery among men in Hawaiian culture. After all, it takes some serious guts to jump off a cliff that high. Since then, adventurers and adrenaline junkies have scoured the earth in search of deep enough pools of water at the bottom of tall enough cliffs to take the sports into new heights. That's what Brazilian Swiss extreme athlete Lazo Schaller did in 2015, when he set the world record for highest free cliff dive from a height of 192 feet into a narrow river in Castigano, Switzerland. The fall lasted a total of 4 seconds. That would have felt like a lifetime to Lasso, with the athlete maxing out a speed of 123 kilometers per hour. Good thing there was a safety team waiting at the bottom too, because the rapidly changing altitude did a number on his head. Thankfully, he kept his composure enough to fall vertically, saving himself from some, let's just say, unfortunate circumstances. Number 6. Mantle of Bees. What do you do when you see a swarm of bees approaching? I, for one, make it a point to run in the opposite direction as quickly as possible. This guy, however, does the exact opposite, and he doesn't see any problem with it. Ruan Lingming owns the record for the heaviest covering of bees ever achieved after completing the feat at the CGTV Guinness World Records special co-filming set in Fengxing County, Yingcheng City, Zhejiang Province in China. Guinness certification officers watched from a safe distance while Ruan was covered in 63.7 kilograms worth of bees. That's 637,000 individual bees, including 6 queen bees who attracted their colonies. Even with swarms of bees covering his body, Lingming stayed calm and composed throughout his record-breaking ordeal. Ruan claims the key is to not getting stung. Sure, Ruan, I'll keep that in mind next time I run the other way. Number 5. Juggling across the Sahara. Ever met a kid who just learned a few soccer skills, going at it all day until it gets exhausting? Imagine that kid never grew up and just kept learning more and more tricks, and you pretty much got freestyle soccer star John Farnworth. In 2019, the English sports entertainer teamed up with GoPro to add another record to his long list. However, this time, Farnworth and GoPro took soccer freestyle to a whole new level. Not only did they plan to set the world record for the longest distance traveled while juggling the ball, which is held at 5.64 kilometers, they also wanted to do it in the most extreme place on Earth, the Sahara Desert. Armed with a camera crew, plenty of water bottles, and a soccer ball, Farnworth set out to set a new record for juggling the ball in the humbling desert heat. At first, it didn't go as planned. The Sahara wind proved too much to handle for the trickster. It didn't take long for the veteran hold to adapt, though. In the end, he didn't just set the record, he destroyed it. After beating the record, Farnworth just kept going, not letting the ball hit the ground until he passed the 62-mile mark across the desert sands. Number 4. 200 basketball shot. You think you can make a shot from half court? How about a little further? No, a little further. Further still. How about 600 feet away from the hoop? Not so confident now, are you? Well, this group of friends from the YouTube channel How Ridiculous managed to shoot basket from 200 miles away. The Extreme Sports channel is notorious for performing some of the weirdest stunts for their over 5 million subscribers. In 2018, the team headed out to Lesotho, South Africa, to attempt to make a basketball from the top of the Mesaleuthun Falls into a hoop at the bottom. At first, it seemed like the view had them distracted because they spent 5 full days throwing complete airballs. However, on the 4th day, the universe seemed to align in their favor, and Derek Heron managed to crack the record for the highest basketball shot ever made. Number 3. Deepest dive. Sure, swimming can be a great way to cool off when it's hot out, unless you're a Russian diver, Alexei Molchanov, who, if you're wondering, has much more extreme relationships with water. If you thought jumping in the deep end of the pool was extreme, then I've got news for you. In 2018, Alexei shocked the world when he broke the record for the deepest self-propelled freedive of all time, meaning he dove with no equipment on a single breath to 130 meters down and all the way up again. Before attempting this feat, Alexei spent most of his life training himself to hold his breath and resist immense oceanic pressures to earn his rank among the most famous divers in human history. To pull it off, the diver had to hold his breath for a total of 4 minutes and dove unassisted to a depth so far down that even some light wavelengths can't reach. He had to carry a light on his head to see where he's going. Number 2. Longest breath hold. The average person can only survive just 5 minutes without oxygen. Trained professionals and experienced divers chuck it up to 9 minutes. We can't help it, our bodies need oxygen to function. Alex Sergeyev-Vendrell doesn't care what the body thinks, though. The Barcelona-born Spanish diver wanted to see how far he could push the human body limits by trying to break the record for the longest breath hold in the world. And he did, in 2016, setting the record for the longest breath hold after lasting 24 minutes and 3 seconds. He managed to pull through using static apnea, a technique that allowed him to stop his body from breathing entirely for that time. Number 1. Appalachian Trail. Marathons are so old school. These days, it's all about ultramarathons. And Carol Sabby is a record holder among elites who can take on these incredible tests of endurance. At the ripe age of 48, Sabby set an incredible record by conquering the Appalachian Trail on foot in 45 days, 22 hours, and 38 minutes. Oh, that doesn't sound so impressive? Wait till you find out that the Appalachian Trail is 14 U.S. states long. And to do this, Sabby had to run 77 kilometers per day for 46 days. That's 2 marathons a day for a month and a half. Yeah, it's okay to applaud. Throughout the long-distance trek, Sabby burned almost 350,000 calories and took over 4.2 million steps, which is far more than a lot of us take in a year. Now that's how you do an ultramarathon. Which of these records do you think is most impressive? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Leave the comment down below and let us know what you think.